increased product and increased prices. How does a local game store handle that? Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name's Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. I know the channel's name is Kitchen Table TCG, but I also own a local game store, Cavdane's Market, here in Tays Valley, West Virginia. And with Wizards of the Coast pumping out product and increasing the print run and pricing in 2022, wanted to have a conversation about how I, as a small local game store, am handling this. And I think for you, it gives you an opportunity to see a different perspective. A lot of times on the internet, you're gonna see the big game stores that have a huge amount of money and a huge amount of inventory space and whatever. I'm gonna give you kind of my perspective as somebody who owns a small, mom and pop shop that is owned in a small rural area of West Virginia. So this is your thoughts for us. First off, what I'm gonna get into affects a lot more than just profits and expenses. This is not just a conversation of, well, Wizards of the Coast increased the costs so the profits went down. It's much bigger than that. It actually increases, this increase in product numbers in terms of SKUs. Magic the Gathering this past year has increased the number of SKUs dramatically. We now have, what do we have? We have draft set collectors, which is, relatively recent, but not just this year. We also have bundles, and then the gift edition bundles or the complete edition bundles. Almost every set has a commander deck now. You have your pre-release decks. You have Jumpstart now. There's a bunch of different SKUs. And in order then to make your initial order, it really affects the bottom line. It really affects the amount of capital that you need in order to make your initial purchase for the sets. And if I want to have product on my shelf to capture that kind of person walking in other words, if you're on Facebook and you see an ad for the complete edition, the new Phyrexia, all will be one complete bundle, and you're like, oh man, that's what I want. So I get out of my car, I go to Cavdane's Market, and I go to buy that, and I don't have that on the shelf, then I miss out on that customer. And so I have to make sure I have all these SKUs on the shelf so that those customers who walk in pick up those products. So where an end user or consumer gets to pick and choose some of the products, makes it really difficult for a local game store because you really don't get to pick and choose. You really should have all the products available on the shelf. And so because of that, instead of just ordering a case or two cases or whatever number of cases of draft boxes and set boxes and collector boxes, now you're ordering all that plus all this other product, your commander decks and the Jumpstart boxes and all that stuff, which, first of all, let me just get this out of there. I'm no longer ordering Jumpstart boxes other than the main Jumpstart sets. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to leave in the comment section. They are completely illiquid. Completely. Not even, like, I put them up on eBay and nobody even wants them for like $40 a box for like the Dominaria or Brothers War Jumpstart boxes. They're completely worthless. So, before, like 6 months ago, having that increase in product was okay. It sucked as a store. It was rough as a store. You had to come up with the capital as a store, and it probably affected the profit margins and that kind of stuff. But it was okay because you knew in Magic the Gathering there was a floor price. You knew that at the end of the day, you would be able to get most of your money back from whatever product that you put your money into. If you bought, let's say I bought draft booster boxes and I accidentally ordered 2 cases too many, let's just throw out a random number. Let's say my cost was like $90. You would kind of feel like no matter what, you could get your money back in that $90, or at least like $85. Whatever. But now on Amazon, Magic the Gathering comes out and has been absolutely obliterating the local game stores on Amazon. I'm talking like Dominaria United boxes at $80 a box. That is about 10 to 15%, I think even more than that, less than the cost that we get stuff from at distribution. And because they are doing this, it kind of removes that safety net as a store for ordering product. It removes that ability to say, yeah, it's okay if I over-ordered because I can just get my money back on the secondary market, by putting them on TCG Player or that kind of thing. I can get the majority of my money back. But now the Amazon sales have both increased the supply in the market. It's not just product sitting at a warehouse and distribution. Now there's product on the open market, but it's also decreased the value of the boxes dramatically, like absolutely dramatically. So it begs this question, why should I order in any amount of volume from a distribution network? Why should I as a store pick up more than just the bare minimum of what my store wants to purchase, even like on release week? Usually I try to have a case or 2 cases of each product in the back so that if we sell out, there's always product to come put back on the shelf again, so that my customers, which I love, I want them to be able to purchase things and buy things at my shop and to hang out and to open up packs. I want to have stuff on the shelf, but why would I do that if they're just gonna come out and I can get it for 20% less 4 months later on Amazon? Why would I over order and have any amount of stock in my warehouse? So this moves to another conversation, which is, as the end user, you, the consumer, should I just trust that you're gonna pre-order and just make you go to pre-order only on this product? Basically tell my store, listen, I'm gonna have boxes up for pre-order. If you don't purchase a pre-order of this, then I'm not gonna have it in the shop. I might have 1 or 2 boxes, but I can't guarantee you. Previously, I wanted to be guaranteed that you could just come into my shop and be able to buy the thing, but now it makes me feel like maybe I should be moving to a pre-order only on like at least collectors and draft boxes, and maybe just stock set boxes. Maybe do pre-order only on the complete edition or the gift bundles, and do have bundles on the shelf. It really begs this question for stores to pick and choose how they interact with this product, or they're just going to get absolutely burned. Because increased prices plus increased SKUs with the addition of direct sales, and the result is that the LGS has to shift money around. The LGS has to either shift money to other games or other resources, whether that be like video games, that kind of thing, or if they don't, they're just going to close. They're just not going to be able to sustain rent and the overhead and the chairs break and all the things that happen. But at the end of the day, it's not just LGSs. It's also consumers that are frustrated, and it's consumers that I would use the word confused. And maybe not on the internet, maybe not you. You are somebody who watches YouTube content on Magic the Gathering. That's how you found the channel. While you're here, make sure you subscribe. But you found the channel because you care about Magic the Gathering. And some people just walk into a store and are curious about Magic the Gathering, or maybe they don't watch YouTube and they just heard a new set comes out and they come and they show up at the store and they want to purchase them, or they see a really flashy card on the commander table and they pick up and they say, I'm gonna go buy a bundle in order to try to pull that card, and then they find out afterwards they can't even pull that card in the bundle, in that particular product line. Consumers, at the end of the day, because of the increase in SKUs and the increase in cards, are simply confused. They can, we have at standard tournaments, you have people who walk in and they have cards that are from the commander set of Brothers War, and they are not able to fit. It's just hard for a consumer. Again, if you're on YouTube and you know where to look up deck lists, and you know how to build your deck and whatever, it's easy for you. But for the other consumer, the one that is not fully engaged, it produces a confusing product to have all these different SKUs and all these different product lines that mesh together in a weird world. I feel like it is dangerously following the trend of like 90s sports cards and collectibles. If you look at like pre-orders, a lot of consumers are very frustrated that they pre-order and they lose out on 40% of their money, and not even as a result of an LGS. increasing the price, exponentially. LGSs, I don't feel like have put out pre-orders for more than they have done previously, or too much more, especially proportionally to the Wizards increase. But when LGSs are trying to make 10 to 15% in profit, which seems reasonable, and a consumer purchases that, and then Amazon puts the product up for 10 to 15% less than the stores, that means that the consumer, what their ability was, is they see that they paid 30% more than they could have paid if they had just waited on and bought it on Amazon. So consumers are frustrated too. And that kind of, again, follows dangerously in this like 90s sports world, where people kind of lived in a life where sports cards are really maintained and valuable and had a lot of intrigue and collectability. And then all of a sudden, this huge market opened wide up. People became frustrated, and I get it. Magic is also a game that needs to be played, and you're not hearing me say that I want singles to be more expensive or anything like that. I simply want, the only thing I'm asking for is not an easy, but a manageable 10 to 15, maybe in-store 20% profit margin for the local game store that you are able to play the game at. Again, like, everybody wants cheap cards. I play the game too. I want to be able to build 50 commander decks and be able to have cheap cards. But I also want to be able to provide for you a place to play the game, a place to hang out with some friends and meet some people that you maybe didn't know existed who also play Magic the Gathering. And in order to do that, there's a whole slew of overhead things that I have to pay for. And so at the end of the day, I just want stores to be able to make like a 10 to 15% profit margin. But when you have all this increased stuff, that's just not going to happen. Stores are frustrated, consumers are frustrated. So personally, here's how I'm handling this. I'm getting a little ranty, sorry. Here's how I'm handling this as a store. I have reduced my store's Magic the Gathering spend by nearly 75%. That might seem like a big number for you, but let me tell you this. I was probably ordering too much already. I'm a big Magic the Gathering fan, and what I've been saying is, okay, if I don't actually sell it, if whatever, I'll just leave it in the shelf, and it'll end up in my house as like a sealed long-term collector. That's something that I've always said, and so I was probably over ordering by about 25% anyway, but now I am reducing that by about 75%. I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. I am seeing consumer behavior change and shift, and so I have to shift my behavior as a store. I will be ordering basically a case of each kind of product, and then doing pre-orders for my consumers, and so I will still have a little bit of inventory. I'm probably not doing Jumpstart. I'm probably not doing the collector edition bundles and that kind of thing. Because simply put, it's just no longer safe in the short term. I will be looking at Amazon sales, although I don't like buying product off of Amazon because oftentimes it comes damaged or repackaged and that kind of thing. So I don't really like buying stuff off of Amazon, but I will at least look at that stuff. And I am increasing my Pokemon purchasing and shifting my store's kind of hopefully shifting my store's kind of main product sale to Pokemon. I'm still selling Magic. I'm still hosting Magic events. That's, so great to hang out with people and have fun and play the game and that kind of thing. But Pokemon, at the end of the day, will be what is funding my Magic the Gathering store, which is wild. But you know what? Pokemon, people come in every day. Have no problem buying a $120 box from me as a store, which my profit is, 25, 30%, something like that, a good, healthy profit margin, because on TCG Player and Amazon, they can only get that box for like $110, maybe $10 less than they could get it in store right now today. Be able to open up the packs. We have a bounty in the store where if you open up the alt art, you get a free box, like really cool stuff. And so at the end of the day, Pokemon is what will be kind of more funding currently the local side of the game store. And then other, card games that I try to pick up and play as well. But at the end of the day, I think Magic is gonna have to do some radical changes. They're gonna have to adjust one of those three things. They increased the price, they increased their SKUs, and they started and really increased direct sales. Those three things coexisting together is not gonna work for the LGS. So if they do care about what they claim, 70% of their sales come through LGSs. If they do care about that, they will have to adjust one of those 3 things. Anyway, hopefully you, I don't know, learned something today or just listen to me rant. Hopefully you have yourself a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.